What is up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Hunter here from Film Nerd TV. And, we have some big news. This is mini nerd news where we look at one topic and it's more of an editorial style where we talk about one topic instead of multiple topics. This is a big one. I'm joined as always by Chance Ellison. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Ready to talk about this deal, which I have so many thoughts on. It's a lot to unpack with this, so I feel like we better get moving.
All right, so if you guys can't read that lower third right there, that's right. Disney has now bought 20th Century Fox, which includes all of its movie properties, including X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool, Alien, Planet of the Apes, all of them. And the estimated price was $52.4 billion.
And breaking on that, and on top of that point, there's also a bonus that they got on the top, a cash bonus they got on the top. So really, it's more around it's more around $60 billion.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I can't even fathom that much money.
I can't wrap my head around that money. It's like, what is that number?
Right?
For real. So why don't you start with just your opening thoughts on all of this crazy news?
Okay, really there's a lot to unpack with this news. First and foremost, I mean, you look at certain aspects. I mean, there's certain things that this acquisition, it excites me, but then there are other things I think about it. I'm just like, I'm slightly worried in some aspects. But the one thing I do know for certain is that the scope of entertainment is over the next few years is going to change.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's going to change big time. And on that, my opening thoughts about this is, it's a good thing to a point.
Right.
Because we know what Disney can do, but also I'm more worried about the stuff as in, like, which we can go ahead and get this real quick. The Deadpool, the X-Men, and all the Fantastic Four are going to be inside the MCU.
Right. Okay. So I feel like let's talk about that first, because I feel like when people talk about this acquisition, that's the thing they're bringing up, and that's a part of this deal. That's not you still got to look at the bigger picture, but we can talk about that real quick. So as far as everything else, I feel like some things like you can't change, like New Mutants already shot, that's already done. So you gotta put that out. Deadpool 2, that's in both production. You gotta finish that. X-Men Dark Phoenix, I believe, is wrap shooting. So you're gonna have to finish that. Like you can't not finish these movies because millions of dollars are invested in all of these, and they're gonna get a lot of returns. They're gonna get a lot of returns for the studio. Plus, the effects of this deal won't be completely set yet. So you're still making money for Fox. So the movies as of right now, they won't be touched. Like when you look further down the line at things like your Gambit or any other release date they have set.
Multiple Man.
Yeah, Multiple Man. They have a bunch of release dates set already. But yeah, as for those are up. Those are up in the air. And if I had to bet on it, I think those are just gonna put on hold and put on the back burner.
Well, my whole problem with them just putting all these characters in the MCU is something that a lot of people are bringing up. It's the MCU right now already feels overbloated, especially with Infinity War, when you have all the Avengers, all the Guardians, you got to bring in all these other characters, and now you're adding on top the entire X-Men. You're adding on top of that the Fantastic Four. You're adding Deadpool on that. You're adding all the villains of all these stables. Like, I'm afraid it's going to get overbloated to a point where they're just going to, like, not know what to do with these characters. And they'll just, like, push some to the background, and
Yeah, I mean that is a valid point, but to that I would say, you got to look at you gotta look at like the long term because a lot of like the current Avengers, their contracts are up after Infinity War Part 2, whatever the hell it's actually called.
Avengers
Like as soon
4.
as that, yeah, as soon as Avengers 4 is up, a lot of the people are gonna be there. Like Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be gone, Hemsworth is gonna be gone, Evans is gonna be gone, Samuel L. Jackson most likely be gone. A lot of these major heroes aren't. I'm pretty sure Johansson's going to be gone. A lot of these like major parts of the franchise are going to be gone, so you're going to need some star power to fill that void. You're going to need some new characters, and also because you know Phase 4 is imminent. That's going to happen. That's going to get announced at some point. And as far as the characters they own now, they don't have. As far as movie material, they don't have a lot. I feel like they would have some way or another they would have needed to get the X-Men characters back.
Yeah, to me, they don't need to put all these in right now. You don't have to put all the X-Men on
No,
Fantastic Four. You
like
start,
gradually.
yep, you start in Phase 4 where you slowly introduce the Fantastic Four. As somebody brought up, in the comments and stuff, they were like, well, in Spider-Man Homecoming, which you could set up in Phase 3, Stark Towers was being sold off to somebody. We didn't know who bought it. You could say that Reed Richards now bought it, and now that's how you bring in the Fantastic Four into that MCU universe without it feeling too jarring. Because, we never figured out who the buyer was, and that could be a good way of seeing, like, Spider-Man Reed Richards and have the apprenticeship or do whatever you want to do with that and have it, tangle well.
Yeah, and as far as the X-Men going, I had to think about it for a second, but I'm at a point where I'm actually okay with this franchise. Anyway, think about it. This franchise has been around since the early 2000s. This franchise is nearly 20 years old. And you look at it, like, I think the interest in X-Men is kind of declining. Like, I don't like. There's no like people. I don't think people are excited for Dark Phoenix. The people they're intrigued or they're
There are a lot of
vaguely
people
interested.
who are excited for Dark Phoenix.
I have not met someone who is genuinely excited for Dark Phoenix. You're wrong, sir. Wrong.
You met me.
No,
so, you're incorrect.
No one's excited for Dark Phoenix.
I am.
But anyways, but you look at it, this franchise worked because once it went forward, then it went back, then it started going forward again. But X-Men Dark Phoenix is gonna take place in the 90s. So you're already at the point where you've come full circle in the franchise, and plus, one of the biggest draws is gone. So I feel like now would be a fine time to just end it, start anew.
See, again, going back to, it's more of the fact of when are we going to get this reboot of X-Men? It's definitely not going to be in the next 5 years. Because they already have 20 movies filled out for the next 3 or 4 years.
But here's the thing, though. If this deal goes through, I think those are all going to get scrapped.
I don't think so. I think a little over half of them are already being shot.
Not really. Like the only ones that are in active developments are the ones that are already nearly completed, or the ones that were in pre-production. So besides the ones that are coming in next year, which are Deadpool 2, New Mutants, and Dark Phoenix, the only other ones you had in the works, which are still in pre-production, and James Franco's Multiple Man, which didn't have a writer, didn't have a director, it just had a concept.
No. I'm talking about on the MCU front.
Oh, the MCU front. I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you're saying.
Yeah. The MCU has already announced 20 other movies.
They haven't announced them yet. They've announced that they're doing a Phase 3, but they haven't announced Phase 4. I'm sorry, they announced they're doing Phase 4, but they haven't announced what's going to be a part of it. And also, you look at what they did with when they acquired Spider-Man.
That's one character. That's one character.
They changed, but you can put in one X-Men movie. I think that wouldn't be a problem. And also, they literally, I feel like Kevin Feige is someone who he always has a backup plan. I feel like because he is one of the higher ups at Disney, I feel like he had an idea of where this was going and had a plan just in case this did end up going through.
Yeah, but again, Spider-Man was one character that really you could bring into the MCU without any worries, but you do gotta remember in Avengers 2 and Avengers 3, you didn't really have, or sorry, Avengers 2 and Civil War and all that stuff, you didn't really have mutants. So now you're going to have to introduce the mutants to this world, and that's just going to confuse other people because, like, you know, Scarlet Witch could be considered a mutant, even though they'll never call her a mutant. It's that back and forth, like, what to do with.
I think people would be willing to roll with it just because, like, I mean, look at Spider-Man. They literally rebooted that character 2 years after Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. I feel like the fan base is very forgiving. I feel like the fan base wants more than anything to see all these Marvel characters together. So I feel like
Granted,
I feel like you can just
come off of
do a hard
Amazing
reboot.
Spider-Man 2, so.
But even if you stop right now, you're coming off of Apocalypse, which is just as bad.
No, I mean it didn't get as slammed as Amazing Spider-Man did. I mean, Apocalypse.
They're about the same on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are they really?
I think Apocalypse has a worse rating on Rotten Tomatoes than. Yeah, Spider-Man I believe has like a 53, and Apocalypse has like a 48. But as I was saying, like, because like I said, like Spider-Man, you literally like it was literally announced like a day, like they're gonna hard reboot Spider-Man, and the fan accepted that just because they wanted to see Spider-Man come under this banner. Like, Fantastic Four, you want to do a hard reboot? Go ahead. Because no one gives a fuck about any of the Fantastic Four that came before.
But the thing is, like,
I would want to see Eric Killmonger and Chris Evans or Captain America interact with the Human Torch. Like, for no other reason than just be like, brother, you got it good.
Nah, there's two Chris Evans. One that's playing Human Torch. The one that's playing Captain America.
You know, he actually wasn't bad as Human Torch.
He wasn't bad at Human Torch. I'll admit that. He was one of the redeeming qualities of those two movies.
Yeah, he was. Like, it was campy, ridiculous, but he acted his ass off in that role.
With the Spider-Man thing is, though, you're not changing what he is. He's a superhero. I mean, you don't have to call him a mutant, but this one is like the MCU never mentioned mutants. They never was like, oh, you know, maybe it's something, you know, a muted gene or something. But now you have to, like, literally change everything from the past two movies and be like, no, mutants are in here now. Phase 4, mutants. You're just like, that kind of counteracts what you did in Age of Ultron and all that stuff. Because in the MCU, it's all about science. In this one, it's all about genes and stuff like that.
I mean, not really. It kind of fits, and just because, you know, they haven't mentioned this, because they haven't mentioned, doesn't mean like they can't just say like, oh, we discovered them, like they exist in secret, but they're there. But also something to keep in mind is because we have like the Infinity movies coming. One of the gems is the reality gem, so I wouldn't put it past them to maybe like have like an effect with that where like mutation is a thing in this world now.
See, I kind of wish they would just keep them separate and have two separate universes.
What's the point of the acquisition? There's no point in this then.
Well, there is. I mean, because then in that universe, you could have a rated R Deadpool. You could have any R-rated X-Men movies that you want to do later on. You could do all the X-Men and not worry about having to time in with the MCU and make sure that this doesn't affect this. And that's kind of why I'm getting sick of the cinematic universes, because you take away the freedom from one person just so it fits into this one universe. Or take those movies and make them standalone movies.
I see where you're going, but at the same time, like Bob Iger's already said, Bob Iger's CEO, he's already said that he's going to keep Deadpool rated R because he knows that's what the fans want. He knows this.
Kevin Feige's not going to allow him to do that, though. And he outranks Bob Iger.
No, he does not. No, he does not. Not even close.
I thought Iger just controlled the TV series.
No. Bob Iger controls Disney, like the
Oh, dang.
company. Yes. So, but
I
Bob
remember,
Iger wants, Bob Iger gets.
because I remember a news story out a few months ago saying that like he'd left or something happened where
Bob
he
Iger?
left.
No. Bob
Yeah,
Iger.
something
Another
where,
thing about this deal, Bob Iger actually he's been the CEO of Disney for a while now. He was actually instrumental in getting Marvel. He was instrumental in getting Lucasfilm. He actually renewed his contract because he's supposed to exit, I believe, 2019. He actually added 2 more years, so he's going to stay on as CEO till 2021. This
oh,
whole thing through, which
okay, because I
I
remember
actually do
something
like because
where him and Feige were getting in a fight over something. I just
you might be thinking of someone else because there was a split between the TV and movie division, but Bob Iger does not run Marvel TV.
okay, I thought he did for some reason. Maybe I'm getting him confused with somebody else, but
Probably thinking of someone else, but like back to my point.
yeah, I am. I'm thinking
Where
of
was I going?
Perlmutter.
What?
Uh, Perlmutter.
Who?
I can't think of his last name.
That's right. Okay, yeah, that's who has
That's
Marvel
what I was
TV.
thinking about.
But yeah, I was saying like Bob Iger is a guy I trust implicitly, and like you look at him, he is someone who has literally like not like even before this has changed the entertainment landscape, and he's someone I trust implicitly, and if he has a direction he wants to go, I'll follow him because I think he's a
Do
fantastic
you
CEO.
think that Disney will do a radar, crude, violent, sex-filled Deadpool movie under the Disney banner? I don't think so.
Under the Disney banner, no. But I do think, but what I do think they're gonna end up doing is that they're gonna have a separate production banner because people forget Disney has owned different studio banners before. Like they used to own Miramax, and when they did, they made Pulp Fiction and The Crow and several other movies. They used to own Buena Vista, which at the time when they made things like Con Air, the studio that made The Rock.
Well,
Like
I think
Disney,
don't
Disney
they
has put
own
out
the title
R-rated stuff
Fox
before.
too now?
What?
They own the 20th Century Fox movie production rights, correct? So they can use the
Yeah,
Fox
like,
the Fox logo as the
I'm not sure
production
if
name.
that Fox name exactly, but what I'm not putting it past them to just like make like a new just
No.
like a new
I'm talking about
studio.
like they own 21st Century Fox, not the Fox name, but just the movie
Right.
portion of it.
Yeah, right. So they could just start releasing things under the 21st Century Fox banner to kind of,
Yeah.
get away with like releasing more experimental pictures because like this goes so far beyond just X-Men and Fantastic Four. I mean, yes, they have those properties, but you look at all the other properties they have. When this Disney will own the rights to Alien, Predator, Planet of the Apes, Ice Age, Avatar,
I love how we go from
um,
like Alien Ice Age.
to Kingsman, Red Sparrow, which is a movie they're prepping for release. The Maze Runner, Ice Age, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chronicles of Narnia, which they did own the rights to at one point. Then they lost them to Fox, and now they're getting it back.
Get him back. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is so much bigger. I don't think these are all going to go on a Disney banner. I think they'll be under like a different studio name. But
I wonder if we'll
yeah,
get
I wouldn't put it past them to.
the Apes trilogy, like a reboot of that sometime down the road.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
No, but I think anything will get more movies after war. And if they do decide to reboot it, because like fine with them finishing on War for the Planet of the Apes, because I thought that was a great end to a fantastic trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to just end there, and maybe like 10 years down the line, they want to say, "Hey, let's try and reboot Planet of the Apes," I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can go. Like, you don't even have to make it a prequel. You could continue like the rise of Caesar and how he took
Yeah.
over the planet and how because war ends right before he really takes over the planet. So maybe you can
They still not taken over the planet yet.
no. So it's not a planet of apes. It's a planet of humans with smart apes.
Yeah. But another thing I want to think about because another thing that's coming out next year, which I'm really excited about, is Shane Black's The Predator,
Yep.
which I am so looking forward to. I'm pretty sure that's
Is that
that's
next
probably
year?
I think that's probably shot, huh?
That's next year? Holy shit.
Yeah, that's already shot, so that's gonna come out too. I wonder how it's gonna affect that franchise. Ridley Scott. Hopefully, I'm hoping this stops Ridley Scott from making more Alien movies, at least for the time being, because oh boy,
Didn't like Covenant?
I can't. I know I like the parts of Covenant that were an Alien prequel. I could not stand the parts of Covenant that were Prometheus sequel because I did not like Prometheus like at all.
See, I didn't mind it because I didn't watch Prometheus. So
Oh, but yeah, don't watch Prometheus. Don't watch Prometheus. It was kind of funny.
I've heard bad things about it.
Yeah, they also own the rights to The Simpsons, which did predict this.
Did they?
They did. There's a visual gag in one of their episodes where like it's the Fox logo and on the bottom it says a Walt Disney Company. So
oh
once
my
again,
God, yes,
The Simpsons was right.
This is like the fourth time The Simpsons is right about something.
No, not even the fourth. It's like a 20th. They're right about tons of stuff.
Simpsons can predict the future.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh my God.
But there's also a really
brought up.
interesting acquisition that they got. Now, buying Fox, Disney will now own the rights to the original prints of the original prints, the unedited versions of Star Wars trilogy.
Han shot first, and we'll see it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, unless there's some kind of clause by George Lucas saying that you can never release the original cuts, which I don't think that exists because they did it at one point.
Yeah, when Disney
they
had owned the rights.
Yeah, they have full legal rights to. They will have full legal rights to re-edit and then just release the original prints.
Yep, which I hope they do. Come on.
I have as a family, my family's collective as the unit. We have bought the original trilogy, and we made a deal. We're the only condition we are going to buy it again is if they release the original version.
Yep. You can actually get a thing called the despecialized editions.
I never figured out how to do that. So.
But yeah, man, like I don't know how to feel about this because again, it is such a monumental news and there's a lot of upside. But it's also the downside of Disney becoming a monopoly.
Yeah, and we can talk about that because it was reported that this deal is done. Entirely true. This deal is 95 to I'll say 99% done.
Yeah.
And over the next 18 months is that they're going to go over these this deal is going to go over agencies to make sure it doesn't violate any antitrust laws, to make sure that tendencies here, because there's certain laws for this kind of stuff, because West Lyric, no one man can have all that power.
Yep.
There are literally laws to prevent that from happening.
Yep. One company cannot rule them all.
One company cannot rule them all, even though Disney doesn't even try, and they already do.
Yeah. But see, I'm not here to say that this is bad news. No, this is actually really good news. But there are problems in there. You can.
Yeah,
there's problems.
There are consequences also.
Huh?
There are consequences to this deal also.
Yeah, I just don't want Disney to start getting too big. to where it gets to their heads, you know?
Right.
And then they just stop caring and they just start making shitty movies.
I don't think that would ever happen just because Disney is a company that is founded on creativity. Because that's their company where I feel like
Cars 2, Cars 3.
Hey, it's better than Cars 2. They tried.
Huh?
Hey, it was better than Cars 2. I'll defend Cars 3 to a point. Like, they actually tried in that movie.
Brave.
Okay, well, yeah, Brave was very good. But like, look, Disney has failed. Yes, but they never.
Yes.
But it's never been for lack of trying.
Yeah. I just keep making jokes because, you know, I'm a funny guy.
Yeah, I know. But you know, on a serious note, like, you know, they're not gonna own all of Fox. Like, Fox News is still gonna be independent. Fox Sports is gonna still be independent. ESPN.
I think they own Fox Television too now. With that deal.
They own certain rights. I don't think
Which
they can't
means
own the
Hulu
station.
is fucked.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. We didn't even bring that up. So yeah, Disney owned a stake in Hulu, as did Fox. Buying Fox, Disney now owns majority stake in Hulu. They don't physically run the company, but they now own the most shares in it.
And since there's a new Disney streaming service coming out, that's a way to get the competition out of the way.
Yeah, and I feel like this is kind of feeding into that because I think Bob Iger knows that there's a lot of money in the streaming services. I mean, as you can see, like with them starting their own, maybe he thought their library wasn't diverse enough, even though it clearly is with everything they already have. A ton of other stuff.
Yeah. But didn't Iger say that Hulu wouldn't change?
Okay, no, I don't think it would affect Hulu. Yeah, like Hulu, I don't think will change. What I do think will change. Yeah, I think they might leave some of their stuff on Hulu, but I think everything Disney and Fox will absolutely be like everything Disney from Netflix coming off. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, that is
Netflix
definitely.
Most likely also coming off.
I'm not sure if they'll take the Runaways off of Hulu. To be honest.
Possible. I doubt it, but it is possible.
I mean, I doubt it because I don't. It's not like, you know, the Defenders where they set up that, you know, the huge Defenders series on Netflix. This is just like a one-off, like standalone series that I think they'll license off to Hulu.
Yeah,
I
think
about. So I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I haven't seen it because I don't have a Hulu account, so I haven't watched it.
I do. I'm borrowing some. I'm borrowing a friend of mine. So
nobody has a Hulu password. They just borrow other people.
Here you go. I don't pay for anything anymore.
It's like HBO Go. Nobody has an HBO Go account. They just borrow other people's.
Yep, or HBO Now accounts. It's like, here you go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they're talking.
But yeah, man, like
this deal.
I can't really think of anything except for like where would most of the TV shows go, like Lucifer and some of the Fox-owned TV properties.
Yeah, well, I think Fox would hold on to those because like Fox as a network, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, well, with that deal, they got most of their TV properties, so like Lucifer and all the TV rights as well, except for the.
I do wonder what this means for Gotham, because Gotham is a DC-owned property.
Yeah, but it's also owned by the Fox network, so.
Fox distributes it, but it's still a DC. It's technically still a Warner Brothers DC show.
I wonder
it's really
if they'll
interesting what's going to happen with that.
I wonder if they'll just like pull that off and continue to, you know, stream episodes on the DC streaming service. Like keep bringing new episodes along with the Titans.
I could see Gotham. Well, look, I'll say right now, I don't give a fuck about Gotham. I stopped watching that show, season 1. Like it was so bad. But
season 2 is better. It's actually really good in season 2.
yeah, I heard like the writer just stopped caring and it actually got good again.
Yeah, because it stopped being a Batman related show to being a really good detective show.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll start watching. Maybe I'll start watching again. But as far as Gotham, I could see Gotham either. I could see Gotham going one of three ways. I don't see it staying at Fox just because the whole Disney thing now. That'd be so cruel for Disney's like, hey, we got your Batman show.
And then it's like, hey, guess what? Batman in the MCU.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But no, I can see this going one of three ways. A, it moves to NBC, which is owned by the same studio that owns Warner Brothers.
Or it moves over to CW with their Arrowverse.
Yeah, I'm about to say or move to CW. No, I don't think so. Just because I think like all superhero shows on that channel are within the same universe. I feel like Gotham is too late to integrate that one.
Has been you don't really have dropped. To integrate it. I mean, it could be like a standalone show.
Yeah, I feel like with their brand, I feel like integrated in. I don't think that'd go very well.
Yeah.
3, I could see this going on their DC streaming service.
Yep. And doing it like a weekly, like what Titans is gonna do.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's gonna be weekly now.
That's what I think. I mean, I think it's gonna be like the Hulu thing with the Runaways, where they have one episode each week.
They release stuff weekly?
Yeah, on Hulu for the Runaways, it's every Tuesday. They have one episode every week.
Why? Okay, whatever. Stupid. That's stupid. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get hung up on that shit, but
well, that's most of Hulu's original shows.
Another interesting thing about this deal is that this is a little interesting tidbit. ABC, as we know, produces Modern Family, although Fox owns the syndication rights. So now it's kind of like Disney and Modern Family have kind of been essentially like together because they now own the broadcasting rights, which that bodes well. That bodes really well for them.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like, time will tell what will happen with this deal. There are some definite goods. There are also a few not good points. A few things that could bite them in the ass.
Absolutely.
Or things that could make the movies, quality go down, in my opinion. But overall, like, this is a very interesting deal and a deal that I feel like will really impact the next few years, going forward.
No, absolutely. And also, there are negatives to that because, I mean, you look at the deal between when Comcast acquired Heath. When that deal happened, because like when these things happen, there are redundancy laws. When that happened, 500 people got laid off, and so you got to think like, what are the ramifications as far as people? Like, what's going to happen to like some of these employees going?
Oh yeah, and you got to think at least a few hundred people are going to be out of a job.
Oh, at least, and yeah, this totally like I'm sorry for them, like, and this. For those guys because they work really hard to get where they're at, and I'm sure because like they do like with jobs like these, a lot of them do have severance packages. Some don't, but a lot of them do. So, like some of them, I think some of them will be all right, just because this is entertainment business, and when you get to a certain place, like you can transition to other jobs. Have some tough ramifications for some people, and that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
And we can't shy away from that because that's
very important.
Casualty of war.
Yeah, it's very important to note down. To bring up. All right, so I think that's really all that we.
Well, another thing to note down is that this is kind of the fault. Like 20th Century Fox was one of 6. Like 20th Century Fox has been around for decades. just going to go away. The end of a Hollywood dynasty. So,
oh yeah,
but the tide of filmmaking is changing.
And one more point I do want to bring up. People want to give Fox a lot of crap, but they had I think one of the best trilogies of all time in the Apes trilogy.
Oh, no doubt.
They had multiple
didn't see that.
Multiple great X-Men movies. Yeah, the Fantastic Fours, not so much, but they cared about their properties, if that makes any sense.
Totally. I'm like, even beyond that, you have Aliens, Predator, the first Avatar, even though it's kind of iffy for some people.
It's
Star
still
Wars,
one of the biggest opening or box office.
Yeah, Star Wars, Home Alone, Sound of Music, Hidden Figures, like the Castaway, Mrs. Doubtfire. Like Fox is one of the movie production giants, and it sucks that they're going away, but they've left one hell of a legacy. It's going to be interesting to see how they change.
$60 billion.
Yeah, $60 billion. Yeah, $60 billion is nothing to frown at. So, hey, good luck.
We're like, oh, it's so sad, but they're like, you know what? We don't care. $60 billion is a lot of damn money.
And you know what? That does give me some assurance because some people are going to get laid off, but with $60 billion, you can give some awesome severance packages.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so I think that's where we're gonna.
That's really my biggest concern. I hope these people who are getting laid off from their job are taken care of.
Yeah, and that's the really important part is making sure that these people who are, really putting in the hard work, and it's hard, being away from your families and
Yeah,
especially
making movies is a tough business.
Big movie sets like that. Go ahead.
And I was saying making movies is a tough business.
Oh yeah. So I hope that they're taken care of in some way.
Yeah, totally.
Is there anything else you want to go over before we cut out?
No, that's it. These next few years are going to be very interesting as far as Hollywood goes.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's going to be very fun, hopefully, and we hopefully get a lot of great movies out of it. All right, guys. Tomorrow, check out our spoiler review for Star Wars: The Last Jedi, baby. Look at that. Look at that. There's no spoilers right now, Chance. You don't have to worry about it.
Making sure. And it can't be too sure. I'm seeing it tomorrow morning. I'm seeing it tomorrow morning.
Spoiler. Luke's in it. But of course, hit that like button, subscribe to Film Nerd TV. Chance, you want to plug anything before we head out?
Full Metal Trivia and Full Metal Trivia, World of Movie Games, and also my as the critic on YouTube. I will have my review of Star Wars: The Last Jedi also tomorrow. I also might be on the spoiler talk. We'll see how things go for me tomorrow.
Yep. And back again. Like, share, subscribe. Check out Patreon, patreon.com/FilmNerdTV. I'm Hunter. That's Chance. We're Film Nerds, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.